What is up, awesome people, and welcome back to my Pokemon trading card game short play and walkthrough for the Game Boy Color and the Virtual Console. In the last episode, we finally went through and took out Amy, the club master of the Water Club, and therefore we finally have our Water Club medal. Woohoo! And we also used the Mono Yellow deck for that one as well, so it was quite an easy breeze through that entire club. Unfortunately though, with my terrible coin flips, I did have to heavily rely on defenders, which was great. It did give me a chance to show off an excellent strategy used for that particular deck. Anyways, as you can tell, we're currently in the Science Club, which means we're taking on the Science Club in this episode. And as I said in the last episode, I am using a almost colorless deck with this. I am mixing up a few different cards with this particular deck to run it, and that is of course a pseudo colorless deck. And as I promised in the last episode, I was going to rename the deck because ironically the name I originally had it was extremely bland, and the name of the deck at the time was also bland. So I've changed it to Mushoku no Shiro deck, which in English is colorless white. Almost correct, except for like two cards in the deck that kind of lie about that whole colorless white thing. Anyways, to briefly go over this as a quick run through, because I went through this entire deck run through and breakdown in the last episode. I have two grass cards, which is of course going to be Scyther. We've seen Scyther so many times throughout this short play, but for those of you who have not seen the rest of the short play or just joining us now, we have Scyther with Sword Dance and Slash. Sword Dance requiring one grass energy card, but with its effect being a doubling Slash's base damage for the next turn. And that makes Slash into 60, Slash requiring 3 energy cards of any color, which makes it quite a useful card. And at the same time, in this particular deck, I am running grass energy cards, so I can actually use that option if needed. So that is that option there, plus the Scyther also has a resistance to the brown cards or the fighting cards, and if I do come across any type of trouble with fighting cards, I'm going to have a counter to that with the Scyther, which is awesome, because colorless cards obviously have a big weakness to the brown cards. Anyways, in regards to the colorless cards, we have the Game Boy exclusive card Jigglypuff with Friendship Song and Expand. Friendship Song recurring 1 energy of any type, and Expand for 2 energy of any type does 10 damage, but at the same time, the Expand I think allows it to give resistance of an extra 20, I could be wrong. And Friendship Song, this is the main reason why I'm using this particular card. Flip a coin, if heads, unless you're KrimZen, it's always tails. Put a basic Pokemon chosen at random from your deck onto your bench. You can't use attack obviously if your bench is full. And the reduced by 10, not 20, I'm sorry about Expand. Alright, so that was mainly Jigglypuff, and the reason why we're using it is combining it with the Wigglytuff. And as I said in the last episode, I have previously mentioned that Wigglytuff is a pretty bad card, which after experimenting with this particular deck is a lie. And as I also experienced firsthand, I actually would have gone down to this particular card if I wasn't particularly set up in time for this. So Lullaby and Do the Wave, Lullaby for 1 energy of any type, and Do the Wave for 3 for any energy cost for 10 base damage. Lullaby, the Pokemon is now asleep, no coin flip, which is awesome. And Do the Wave for the max damage of 60, so if you have a bench of 5 Pokemon, you do 10 damage for each bench Pokemon, thus giving you a total of 60, which is quite devastating in this particular meta of TCG. And from there we also have a Snorlax, which is just there for a filler, just to kind of stall out a little bit to try and get some cards. And then we have Dratini, Dragonite, and Dragonite. I don't really need to run over these particular cards because they're kind of just there for me to experiment with, plus I really wanted to use with Dragonite to see what interesting strategies I get out of it. And it does require coin flip, so I may not actually pull it off properly. Anyways, that is the colorless deck. This is the Science Club. The first thing we're going to be doing is obviously checking the lobby to see if anyone wants to trade. I got so involved in the Pokemon trading card game I lost track of time. Isn't the Pokemon trading card game really fun? It actually is. I go to a club locally and it goes for like 3 hours, but those 3 hours appear to only feel like an hour. It's just so damn fun. Anyways, he's just going through his cards trying to figure out a strategy. Do you know Ishihara? He lives in the house in the Cape of the Northwest. I cannot speak English, nor can I read. Thank you, dyslexia. He's a very famous card collector. I hope to be like him someday. And who's this last dude? I don't understand science, but I understand Pokemon cards. I lost. Plain and simple, I lost. There's no science behind that one, I guess. No one of interest in that particular lobby. So let's move on to the Science Club. There appears to be 3 people here. I can't get in there, so I can't speak to the club master. Hey you, Rick the club master is in the middle of an important experiment. He has no time to see someone like you. If you really want to see him, you must defeat me first. So if I duel him, beat him, do I go straight to, what was it, Rick? I've got the mirror of a goldfish at the moment, so we're gonna duel him, see what happens. Not too smart, but you've got the nerves. We'll play for 4 prizes. If you win 1 match, I'll let you through. Alright, so Science Joseph. What did I call him? John. Jesus, flying Pokemon deck. Oh yeah, this will be interesting. So let's draw 7 cards and let's see how we do. Alright, we've got Jigglypuff, which is great. We have a Wigglytuff, that's even better. We have Dragonite, unfortunately. I didn't have a Pokemon trainer, unfortunately. I do have Energy Search, but I can try and utilize the Friendship Song. Hopefully it'll work. If I've got to resort to extreme measures, I can just straight away evolve into Wigglytuff and still do some nice damage with that. He has no bench Pokemon, that's a good start for me. 4 prizes down. Wow, the last couple of episodes has been proving me wrong about my luck of the coin at the moment. Zubat is his only Pokemon. That is a grass type, unlike most poison types, which is psychic in this game. I would have loved to have had the resistance to that, but unfortunately I don't. Alright, so from here I have a grass energy down, so I go for the Friendship Song. If I flip ahead, I do, so I get a random bench. Who am I going to get? I got another Jigglypuff, nice. So I've got 1 on the bench at least, so if something goes pear-shaped all of a sudden, I have something to resort back to. No attack, 1 grass energy down on the Zubat. Gonna play the double colorless on that Jigglypuff. That sets up my Wigglytuff all fine and dandy for when that comes out. Go for another Friendship Song. I got another Heads, damn! Well, this might be a quick battle. Scyther comes to the bench, nice. So that's 2 down on the bench, so I'll give Do the Wave a total of 30. Leech Life there from Zubat. It's gonna be healing Zubat for nothing because it's on max. I got Pokemon Trainer, so I can do that. Grab my Dragonite and then send for the Dratini instead, which means I've got another Pokemon on the bench. So that was sent to the bench, to my, hand to my bench. Let's just end it. Let's go straight for the Wigglytuff. Do the wave. That's me doing 40 damage. Just enough to take out the Zubat, and we win the game. Well, that was nice and easy. I wish old Jules were a bit like that. Oh. Hey, I lost. Since I promised, I have to let you through. And take this. So he's going to give us some laboratory booster packs. We've got Poliwrath, Magma, Weezing, Golbat, Magnemite, Spearow, Slowpoke, Onix, and Gambler, and another Zubat card. And the second booster pack, we get another Poliwrath, a Weezing, a Dodrio, Arbok, Onix. I feel like I'm repeating myself here. Magnemite, Slowpoke, Recycle, Ekans, Doduo, and that's it. Rick's in the middle of an experiment, so don't bother him too much. Are you serious? Are we going to be versing Rick now? I am Rick, the master of the Science Club. Science rules nature. That is why it's so strong. Do you wish to test the strengths of nature by playing against me? Dude, it's like the Rock Club all over again. I can play verse the master straight off the bat. Let's do it. Alright, 6 prizes, let us begin. Watch me get absolutely annihilated or he mops the floor with me. Alright, Wonders of Science deck. I have no idea what to expect out of this, actually. Hopefully something really interesting. I have something in my hand, that's great. What is it? A Dratini. I do have a Pokemon Trainer at least, so I can go for a Dragonair. If I didn't have that, I'd be shivering in my boots at the moment. That's a pretty bad hand. Alright, he's got 2 bench Pokemon. I have no bench Pokemon. 6 prizes down. Flipper heads. No, actually flipper tails. That gives me a chance to really scout out what he's got. And he's got a Mewtwo. I could have asked for a better hand. Finish the turn without attacking that. I guess that is a plus with leading with the Mewtwo. He can't really do too much without the energy cards. So Pokemon Trader, gonna go searching for my stage 1 Dragonair. I don't think I can evolve on the first turn. No, I can't. Okay, we'll play that down. Energy removal. Oh, you played on the Grimer. Okay, that's interesting. Get rid of that. I got Gust of Wind. I'm gonna check these Pokemon because I don't really want to be versing. He's got Psychic, 10 base damage, Barrier. Does 10 damage plus damage more for each energy card attached to the defending Pokemon. That's kind of scary. And Barrier, discard 1 energy card attached to Mewtwo in order to use this attack during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to Mewtwo. Grimer, Coughing. foul gas. I'm assuming it's going to go into an explosion or self-destruct wheezing. Energy absorption and Cyburn. Well, let's have that not come in when I don't have a gust of wind handy or something to take that. Choose up to 2 energy cards from your discard pile and attach them to Mewtwo. I guess that works in well with the barrier on the first Mewtwo we saw. And Cyburn, no extra damage or effect, 40 but requires 3 energy cards. 1 of any type or 2 psychic. Okay, I just gotta tread this very carefully. I think it was like 2 to use psychic. Yep, alright. I have a potion down, I've got a gust of wind. I could go into coughing or Grimer. I don't have any abilities except for Dragonite. So if he goes into Muck with that Poke Power, it's not going to really affect me, so I'm going to go straight into Muck. That only had Pound, I think. I'll just double check, I could be wrong. Nasty Goo for 10 and Minimize. Flip a coin if head defending Pokemon is now Paralyzed and Minimize. All damage, don't know if you're able to pull that one off. But I'll just keep it in mind that that is there as a counter to me for some damage. Grass Energy to the Grimer, going for the Nasty Goo. Okay, he's going to paralyze me in 10 damage. But I do evolve next turn, so I can get rid of that paralysis. I did get a double colorist, even better, so Slam I can go off. I got flip coins, but if I'm lucky I can take it out. And Hyper Beam is also an option for me too. So evolve out to Dragonair, go for that. I have no point going for a potion yet. If I get lucky and get 2 heads, he's KO'd. Of course not. Okay, I got at least 20. Sorry, at 30. Well, I definitely needed the 2 to take him out. So Grass Energy onto Coughing on the bench. And he doesn't get the head, so I'm free to attack next turn, which is a KO to that Coughing. Sorry, the Grimer. Wow, I got the Snorlax. Nice. So if I really need to retreat back into something, I've got Snorlax to retreat back to. Unfortunately though, my hand's seen better days. I just need 1 head. Hey! Right, Grimer's knocked out. First prize card being an energy removal, which is great. So I can remove the Grass Energy card on a Coughing. So that's going to... I think this has got self-destruct. I don't get poisoned. Poison's not the least of my worries anyways, because I can evolve and get rid of that. Yeah, it does have self-destruct, and that comes out with the next energy, so let's prevent that from happening. Just gonna use a potion on that just in case something goes really pear-shaped. I need 1 more Grass Energy card. Grass Energy, so I can use Hyper Beam and remove 1 of his energy cards. I would have been very happy if I got that last heads, because that would have been a KO straight off the bat. Okay, he's going for the Smog again. Alright, I really need to evolve now. If I can evolve, that poison's gone. Now we're going to worry about a residual damage per turn. Double Colorus! Oh, that's overkill. I don't really want to use that. I can retreat. I'm not going to though. Yes. Alright, that's wheezing down. I don't have to worry about being poisoned now. Energy Search, that's exactly what I need. So I can go for my Grass Energy card now. Professor Oak discarding his hand, drawing 7. If I can get Dragonite the next turn, that'll be absolutely awesome. He can attach all the Psychic Energies all he wants. Oh, did he just put them straight on? Yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Let's get our Hyper Beam going. And let's get rid of Psychic. So I get to choose 1 of his cards, energy cards attached to Mewtwo, and just completely discard it. Problem is though, I'm at a very bad situation. I'm going to go down the next turn. So as soon as I hit end turn or attack, Dragonair is down. I don't get my Dragonite. But I do have the chance to bring out Snorlax. Oh man, something's gonna happen here. Unfortunately, 20 damage, that's not a lot for Hyper Beam. Ugh. God damn it. My pulls did not pull through. Okay, computer search. What's he searching for? Oh, I don't actually get to see. Grimer on the bench. Grass Energy, the Grimer. Another... Wow, how many energy cards is he going for? Adura Grass Energy. I need 4 though to use this. Ah, should have been setting up. That's an issue. Because I really... Ooh, excuse me. I really needed a Body Slam and a Paralysis going off here. Actually, the Body Slam would have taken out the Snorlax. Sorry, not the Snorlax, the Mewtwo. But I do have resistance to Mewtwo, so not a huge stress at this point. I do have my Body Slam now, 30 damage. Paralysis or not, it goes down. So there goes like the biggest threat probably in this deck was that particular Mewtwo. Now I've got to worry about a Grimer, a Mewtwo, and I think another Mewtwo on the bench. So I can't get paralyzed, so that status is absolutely useless against me. I might set up the second Snorlax. I think at this point, Snorlax is like my greatest weapon. Unless a Muck comes on the field with the ability negating ability. Then I'm in trouble. Because my thick skin goes away. So not really too fussed, but he's not... Well, I'm laughing because he's flipping a tail. I'm not sure if the guy's just auto-doing that because you can't paralyze me. But regardless, that Grimer goes down. Draw another prize card, I get Professor Oak. I really needed that early in the game. Alright, so he's got a second Grimer up with 2 energy cards, 1 Grass Energy, 1 Psychic Energy. Still going for that nasty goo. I think he has flipped the heads, but obviously, due to the ability, it's not kicking in. Scyther and a Grass Energy card, nice. Trying to set up this second Scyther on the bench, trying to set up the second Snorlax. I know, I can't compute today. And my coin flips are being about as awesome as per usual. Tails galore. Okay, Psychic Energy on the bench, Mewtwo. Yeah, there was a heads there, so obviously the paralysis won't kick in. Complete counter to this dude is Snorlax, if anyone is actually struggling against him. Second Snorlax all good to go. Pull out another Grass Energy to thin the deck down. Another Grimer bites the dust. I actually did get the heads this time, not like I get bloody mattered. 1 prize energy left. Mewtwo finally hits the field. This one isn't as scary as that other Mewtwo. Except the point where I've got a lot of energy cards. I forgot about that, but I do resist luckily. Hot damn, I forgot about that. I'm all set up with energy cards on my Snorlax, and Psychic goes by my energy count. Hot diggity, damn, this has actually been really easy. Thank God for Snorlax. And I didn't need so many bloody energy cards either, this would have been over quite quickly. Scyther's already good to go, but that's game. My last prize card is going to be taken, and we're going to earn ourselves a science medal. Balla bing, balla boom, and we finally get the Pokeball, which I needed like at the beginning of the game to get Dragonite. Didn't need the Dragonite, turns out. So we won the duel with Rick. Was his name like someone else? Never mind. There are at times problems even science can't answer. Here, take this medal. It is a result of our research. There we go, our second last medal down, the science medal. And let me give you this. Please add this to your collection. Another laboratory booster pack. I actually don't think I need anything from laboratory. Ninetales, Golbat, Pokédex, Tentacruel, Grimer, Tangela, Spearow, Magnemite, Slowpoke, Onix, and the second booster pack will yield us a Muck, Venonat, Magmar, Poliwhirl, Horsey, Magnemite, Marowak, Slowpoke, Toadwort, and Gambler card. Legendary cards are but a legend. Science is the only truth. I must continue my research of science Pokemon. How to counter a Snorlax might be a best bet there to where to start. Anyways, the last 2 trainers we didn't have to verse was David. And the other person we didn't duel was Eric. So I might start with Eric. I should probably read what he says. We research Pokemon cards here at the Science Club, especially science Pokemon cards. Science Pokemon are exceedingly strong, and KrimZen definitely cannot read her English today. Would you like to duel against my science Pokemon deck? If they're anything like Rick's, you're going down pretty easily. We'll play with 4 prize cards, let's begin. So Eric seems like a very young scientist here. Very young and accomplished. So no basic Pokemon. Eric's... Yep, I've seen that hand a few times. Alright, he's going to reshuffle his deck. I got no reading whatsoever besides the fact he's got plenty of grass-type Pokemon in his deck. I have a Dratini, and that is all she wrote for a decent hand, I guess. 1 bench Pokemon on his side, none on my side. And I actually flip a heads. I wish I flipped for more of them in the last duel. Anyways, let's thin that deck out just a little bit, get that grass energy. If I didn't shuffle the deck, I would have had a Jigglypuff next turn. Nevertheless, Weedle on the field, 40 health, going for the pound, 10 damage. Weedle should be all that threatening. If it does evolve into a Kakuna or even a Beedrill, it should not be all that threatening, except for maybe the Poison Sting and the fact that I don't have a bench Pokemon. Yeah, I'm gonna lose to a Weedle. I should have played my double colors. I'm using Professor Oak. I am not losing to a Weedle. I got a bench Pokemon at least. I got a Wigglytuff, even better. I just need a Dragonair. Come on, Pokeball, give me a heads. Yes, I actually got the heads. Wow. Now don't screw this up, because otherwise you're gonna lose to a Weedle and you're gonna probably cry in the corner afterwards if I do. Anyways, we got rid of that. Thin the... no, we don't want a Jigglypuff. That's not an energy card. Alright, we prevented the devastating fate of losing to a Weedle. So far. I mean, if I actually played smart, I would have played my double colorist. Or could have used Slam. And actually, like, taken this out with 1 single head. Didn't flip the head, so no poison. Oh, thank you, game, for giving me the double colorist. I'm actually gonna go for that Slam now. I could have gone for Hyper Beam. That ain't gonna kill it. Come on! Thank you. Please. I would have been very scared if I did get poisoned. I didn't draw a Dragonite. Anyways, Coughing is their last Pokemon on the bench. Grass Energy, a card onto the Coughing. Can't do anything. Energy removal. We know what we do with that. That hard-earned energy card you just got back is gone. Pokemon Trader, I can't do anything with. I wish Dragonite or something like that was back in my hand. Let's go for the Slam, hope for the double heads. Well, okay, we finally got the double heads. There we go, that's the game. I was going to say, but double heads is too much to ask for. Apparently not. Alright, that's the 3rd person down for this club. We've got 1 person left, and this is going to be a relatively short episode otherwise. I can't believe my side's Pokemon deck could lose. Evolution we get out of this. And we get Vaporeon, Ivysaur, Butterfree, Kingler, Energy Search, Ghastly, Cubone, Krabby, and Eevee, and a Grass Energy. I've got plenty of them as it is. And finally, the Beedrill, Pokeflute, Ivysaur, Marowak, Eevee, Ghastly, Starmie, Gust of Wind, Weedle, goddamn Weedle, and Grass Energy. I must research further. Don't worry, in the next episode I hope to speak a lot fluent English. And yet I can speak Japanese just with a little bit of a stutter. Wow. Anyways, last person, David. The machine is not quite working right. Unlike Dr. Mason's machine, this machine is very complicated. Let's see here. Did you want to duel it against me? I thought you had a machine to fix, but whatever. Shall we begin the match? It will be a single match for 4 prizes, and do not blame the machine if you lose. Oh, lovely Nidoran deck. I wonder if it's going to be using that boyfriend ability or move. I never need a queen having a particular move. That sounded really cool. Anyways, let's see if we actually get to see the strategy in full effect, or I'm going to have no basic Pokemon in my hand. That looks like the last time we saw in Mulligan. Or is this duel just going to end in like a couple of turns? I hope not. About your standard deck hand, I suppose. Anyways, 4 prizes down, leading with the Jigglypuff on my side with Friendship Song. I did flip another heads, which is crazy at this point. Another Professor Oak, got a Scyther to put down on the bench, which is great. Flip down that one grass energy to use Friendship Song. I can go for the Pokeball. What could I go for it though? Oh, I actually got the head. I was like, I'll just flip it just to use it. I'll never actually flip a head, but I did. I'll go for a Dratini, why not? Don't play that, please. Friendship Song. I got the heads. Wow, what's going on this episode? I'm getting actually quite lucky. To an extent. Farfetch on the bench, the active for the opponent's side. Pokeball actually fails for them. I know what that feeling feels like. Oh, damn too well. Alright, so Nita and Male goes onto the bench. Grass Energy onto the Farfetch. Going for the damage check. Pulls a KrimZen and pulls a Tails. Damn, no damage for Jigglypuff there. Hey, double colorist once again. I could have, if I really, really wanted to, I could have actually Pokeballed for a Wigglytuff. And holy moly, what? Another heads? Well, I do finally pull that Wigglytuff. That Do the Wave is going to be devastating at this point. It's going to be a Hyper Voice. Energy Search. I may as well start stacking up the other ones. I've got 3 Jigglypuffs on the bench now. I think that's all my Jigglypuffs already used up. I actually decided to flip a Tails. I think I'm giving the opponent a chance. Because they're not putting any Grass Energy or any energy cards of any type onto Farfetch. The poor Farfetch is sitting there as I put another energy card onto Jigglypuff, which it did not need. Good job. That's the second time I've done that. Oh, I knew it. All good things come to an end eventually. That awesome streak of heads is just gone. Poof! Like a balloon. Professor Oak there on David's side, using the bill as well for another additional 2 cards. Grass Energy on the Coughing, and again, poor Farfetch is sitting there like a poor duck at this point. And we're slowly going through these cards. There we go, we've got my Friendship Song going. Snorlax came to the bench. I think that's a bench of 5 now, which means I can't use Friendship Song now. Now it's just the waiting game of waiting for a Wigglytuff to pop up. Yep, a full bench. Alright, Do the Wave is at maximum power, but as we've already pointed out, I don't have a Wigglytuff at all. I've planned... Oh, bugger it. Let's just use Professor Oak. I basically got everything that I needed. We got the Wigglytuff. There we go. 1. Let's see how many Wigglytuffs I can actually put up on the bench in 1 turn. Probably not that many. Nah, only 1. Damn. I was really hoping to have some type of, like, dramatic ending there. With all these Wigglytuffs just all set up and ready to go on the bench. Anyways, 1 Pokemon bites the dust. Wheezing comes onto the field. That has 60 HP as well, going straight for the Smog. Fails the poison check, which they really needed there. 20 damage to Wigglytuff, no poison. A Pokeball! And a heads? What is this game? What is it mutated to overnight that I haven't been playing it? That is so strange. I have never seen so many heads before in my life. Let's thin the deck out a little bit more, even though at this point it doesn't really need thinning down. 60 damage, another Pokemon bites the dust. Another Professor Oak. Nita and Male comes onto the field. Doduo on the bench. I really wanted to see this strategy work, but unfortunately it's just not happening. Which I know all well about, because I've had strategies, coin flips don't happen, and the poor strategy falls apart. While I'm sitting here just completely setting up on this poor person. Aww. Let's just make them, like, rage even more, use a potion. It's an NPC, I'm talking about making them rage. Ay, there must be something wrong with me. Alright, last Pokemon is Nita and Male. I have 1 prize left. Horn Hazard. And they actually got a heads this time. I probably shouldn't have used the potion, I should have given them a chance. That's the type of person I am. Even whether it be a real person or an NPC, I still give them a chance. Or I just go completely evil and just demolish them with Do the Wave. Anyways, that's how powerful Do the Wave is. If they don't set up in time and they can't stop that strategy, it's game over. My theory is that the machine's malfunctioning caused it. If it's malfunctioning, isn't that why it's not working? Okay, the logic there seems a little bit flawed. Anyways, the booster pack we get is Mystery. We get Lapras, Flareon, Executor, Gloom, Meowth, Energy Removal, Mankey, Fire Energy, Voltorb, and Omanyte. And the final booster pack we'll be getting for this episode gives us Nidoqueen. This is what I really wanted to see. Boyfriends! Does 20 damage plus 20 more damage for each Nidoking you have in play. The problem is though it's getting them in play. Cloyster, Dratini, Nidorina, Mysterious Fossil, Drowsy, Water Energy, Rhyhorn, Vulpix, and Voltorb. I got to fix this machine. I'd be fixing your deck while you're at it too. Anyways, that's the Science Club all done, and that was done really quickly. I'm actually surprised how quickly we knocked that out of the park. Read mail, because we all know... Wow, we got 2 mail? Did I not read the last one? It's me, Dr. Mason. How you doing, Kath? I have some information for you about Rick's deck. Better late than never, obviously. He's the master of the Science Club. His deck uses Mux Toxic Gas to prevent your Pokemon from using Pokemon Power, which he really needed to get around that Snorlax. Avoid using a deck that relies on Pokemon Power to attack. His deck's weakness is Psychic Pokemon. His deck's weakness is actually colorless Pokemon. This game really needs to catch up on its mechanics. Collect Psychic Pokemon to duel his deck. While it is actually correct, they are weak to Psychic cards. They're actually weak to themselves. But if you really want to get around them, I'd go for colorless or things like Snorlax. Wigglytuff is great too, as I said, mainly for the resistance that they have to these particular cards. I mean, heck, we saw that Mewtwo did more damage depending on how many energy cards I had, and it still only did 10 damage with that resistance. I had 4 energy cards on Snorlax. Pretty overpowered to get a way of getting around Rick's deck. I suggest you study the deck from the Psychic Metal deck machine. Hopefully it'll be some assistance. So Laboratory, we're gonna get Super Energy Removal, Golduck, Ghastly, Marowak, Tangela, not Tangela, Magnemite, Slowpoke, Onix, Doduo, Poliwag, and that's all she wrote for that particular booster pack. What have we got here? Did you try building your own deck? This time I'll give you tips on the types and numbers of cards you should include in your deck. We are at the last medal now, and he's just decided to give me this particular hint. This game is kind of backwards in logic in a way, I guess. As I said, I pointed out a bit of a flaw in the last advice we got. And I still would have suggested going for a colorless deck for Rick, but Psychic, as I said, still makes a bit of sense. But giving this particular advice now, that's crazy. If you have 3 of a basic Pokemon card, you want to have 2 of its stage 1 and 1 of its stage 2 Pokemon. I don't know if I agree with that particular one. If you follow this rule, your deck will be well balanced. You should have about 14 basic Pokemon and anywhere between 20 and 26 energy cards for your deck. Well, I haven't been following that particular formula. I've done pretty damn well. Then again, I do have past experience, I guess, of TCG. And I guess this is different meta. The type of energy cards will depend on the type of Pokemon you have in your deck. You might want to look at the decks in the deck machine for hints. This time I'm sending 2 booster packs again. So we got Mystery with Aerodactyl, Taurus, Mr. Fuji, Double Colorless Energy, Voltorb, Drowsy, Paris, Shoulder, Vulpix, Grass Energy, and the second one is going to be a Laboratory with De-Evolution Spray, Magma, Slowbro, Marowak, Poliwag, Ekans, Magnemite, Doduo, Gambler, and Spearow. Okay, that's all the mail she wrote for now. And that's pretty much it for this episode. I actually can't think of anything else to do for this episode. So the next episode, as I said, I probably will be going back to either using the Fushigibana Midori deck or the Kamex AO deck, which is Venusaur and Blastoise respectively. Fushigibana Midori deck is Venusaur Green and Kamex AO is Blastoise Blue deck. And I assume if I'm going up, it's fighting Blastoise probably would be the best way to go. And not only that, Blastoise is extremely hyper offensive, particularly the deck that I've built. I will actually fix it up a little bit between now and the next episode, because I did really kind of build this at the start of the short play when I didn't exactly have the greatest support cards to use. And just going by like that logic of how many cards to run, I'm running 17 Pokemon, 16 energy cards, and 27 trainers. It's not exactly the formula that was suggested to me. The Pokemon might be just about right. The energy, not so much. That was definitely way off the mark, and that would lead you with not many trainer card support. But then when it comes to team building, I'd probably just go by ear. Just play by what you feel is probably just about right for your deck in regards to drawing. Do you get enough basic Pokemon? Do you get enough energy cards to use? Do you get enough support to use? Things like that is mostly what you want to try and consider when it comes to actually deck building. It also comes down to what Pokemon you're using as well. Considering there's no repercussions of drawing no basic Pokemon either in this particular game, is always a great thing too. So it can always stack with like one particular Pokemon, like a legendary Pokemon, and then stack the rest with energy cards and be done with it. But anyways, that's another story for the next episode anyways, in regards to what deck I'm going to be using and taking on the Fighting Club, which of course is our last medal. So, hopefully between now and then, I figure out what deck I want to use, and if I do figure out which deck I want to use, I'm going to try and fix it up to be the style that I particularly prefer. We may even use that deck to take on the Grandmasters as well. And I'm still missing that one damn card from Laboratory. God damn it. I actually did have Laboratory fixed, but because of my little save mix-up, I'm now missing that card again, which is really annoying. But anyways, as I said, I'll fix that up all in the next episode. But until then, this is Lady KrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!